My name is YN. I like to hurt people. I have this weird habit. I need to end humans every night. It just makes me so happy I can't explain it. Being crazy is so underrated. Sometimes I try to care, but I just can't. Then I realize this is a gift. I love every bit of it. When they scream, I hear music, heaven. When they cry, I feel power, I feel loved. When they hurt, I feel joy, an overwhelming sensation of beauty. Madness is a gift, and there's nothing more beautiful than it. I stood in an alley next to a busy street. I tightened my grip on my knife as I waited for my next target. I always lure them in with my innocence. I'm good at pretending. My innocent-like face and body never fails to fool these stupid guys. I always pretend I'm scared of them and walk into an alley, letting them follow me. Maybe I'm not even the crazy one for ending all these criminals who attempt to assault me anyways. I might have saved some girls by my evil doings. I hear the footsteps coming closer and I prepare myself for what's coming. I feel the excitement again. It almost feels like an is coming. I can't wait anymore. I want to see his horrified face once I step into his body. Little girl, do you really think you can hide from me, huh? His voice said. He was standing behind me now. I smiled and then tears rolled down my face. Those were tears of joy. I'm always so thankful when these men make me this happy. I slowly turned around and looked at the tall, ugly man. No, please don't hurt me, I cried out. I was getting so good at this. I learned it from my victims. He took a few steps closer. I didn't want to do this, but I saw you stealing my money, so now you have given me no choice. I wanted to laugh in his face, but I couldn't do it yet. I had to hold it in. What are you gonna do to me? I whimpered in fake fear. First of all, give me my money back. I might let you go. My face straightened. Oh, I said in disappointment. He ruined it. He totally ruined it. He's supposed to attack me or something, not show me some weak empathy. I wiped my tears away and walked closer to him. You're one of the few victims I'm not so grateful to. He frowned, and before he could say something, I swung my hand deep inside his body. He screamed for a bit and collapsed to the ground. I looked at the body and rolled my eyes. Well, that was boring. I had made the perfect plot for tonight, but he totally ruined it. The stupid head turned out to be a softie. I hate when it doesn't go as planned. I looked at the body once again and smiled. This is art. I stood there and admired my beautiful creation. I always did this. I had to take a minute to really let it sink in my brain until it was completely tattooed in me and never to be forgotten. I froze for a second as I heard a voice behind me say. I slowly turned around to face him. Oh, a tough guy with a pretty face. Interesting. He was sitting on a motorcycle as he was smoking a cigarette. Oh no, I noticed a gun on him, so I couldn't end him right away. That meant I had to put on my Oscar-worthy acting skills again. His eyes gazed at me for a second and then moved towards the body. Damn, he must be popular with the girls, giving me F-boy vibes. I suddenly made a loud screaming sound. No, please help me, he was attacking me. I forced tears out of my eyes. He kept staring at me without saying a damn word. What was wrong with this guy? Did he think his looks would be enough to intimidate me? He lifted his eyebrow as he still gazed at me. His eyes dropped to the in my hand. This is definitely sus. I had no choice. It was about to end me. I started to shake my body to seem like I was shivering. I might have looked stupid AF. He finally broke our eye contact and got off his motorcycle, walking to the body. He knelt down in front of it and stared at him. I could end him now. His back is faced to me so he can't see me. Please don't hurt me, I cried out as I slowly walked closer, tightening my grip on the... What a waste of his pretty face and compelling eyes. He suddenly sat and turned around, holding his gun up towards me. I quickly stopped walking and dropped the... He was just in time. I start to fake cry again. No, please don't. Me. I was running out of tears. This guy was getting on my nerves. His eyes looked me up and down as he was aiming his at me. First it was innocent babes, now it's innocent crybaby. He annoyed me and made me want to do the worst things to him that you could possibly imagine. Please, I was just trying to survive. Please, I'll do anything. Just don't end me. Those are some famous quotes by my victims. Gave me a seductive smile and took another step closer to me. I cringed. Of course he wants it. I placed my fingers on my shirt and started to unbutton it. Do you want to do it here? He took a step back and leaned against the wall and silently gazed at me while I was unbuttoning my shirt, waiting for his response. Sometimes I will let my craziness get the best of me. Maybe now is sometimes. I kinda seemed desperate, but I was just trying to act while my real emotions slightly took over. It was just so boring whenever men asked for it. He grabbed a new cigarette and lit it up as he continued to watch me in silence. I was now in my... and those eyes were looking at me with passion. I didn't know what it really meant. I could see a little bit of a sad and dark gleam in those eyes. I just made his stare a little bit more intense and mysterious and confusing. I couldn't read him at all. Usually guys would look at me with pure lust in these moments. I was contemplating to take off my too. Maybe looking desperate was exactly what I needed for this innocent act. He surely was falling for it, but why didn't he say anything and kept staring at me like that? I looked back in his eyes and undid my bra. Please do it fast. He chuckled and threw his cigarette away. And he's telling me that now, after I got here for him, I was getting really angry and impatient, but I could not do anything. I hate not being in control. And I especially hate when men try to control me, but I'll be patient with this one. He has no idea who he's messing with. I'll show him. I'll make him my most grateful victim. He walks up to me and stands in front of me. My falls off and now my are out in front of him. He takes off his leather jacket and places it around my body, covering me up. I didn't get him at all. He took a step closer and slowly grabbed my chin. I hate him. I really hate him. What was this feeling? I had never felt so much hatred to the point I'd feel sick in my stomach. I hated how he tried to control me. I hated how he looked at me. I hated how he sparked unfamiliar feelings inside me. I hated everything about him. Can I know my owner's name? And I hated how it all slowly didn't feel like an act anymore. My eyes widened. Oh my god, Jungkook, I know that name. Everyone knows that name. He's the most wanted and most powerful and richest criminal in this area. His finger slowly touched my lip. This will be interesting. I'm going to make him my most beautiful creation. I think I just changed my mind. Just end me instead, Jungkook. I wasn't sure what I was trying. He held his strong gaze on me. I still don't know how he knew my name. It started to rain, and here I was, following a wanted criminal down the streets, having no idea what kind of plans he had with me. This was ridiculous. Excuse me, Cooks? He stopped and turned around, too focused on smoking his cigarette that he couldn't even look at me. Oh, where are we going? His eyes finally looked at me now. What was he getting out of this? He continued walking and I walked after him. Whatever, I'll end him anyway, so I'll let him have his fun for now. Ayo Cooks, a group that looked like a gang said, and they all started to bow to him. He greeted them as if he was a celebrity, and I was just standing there, waiting and pretending I didn't have the strong urge to, each one of them to. I see you got yourself a new tonight, huh? Is she a new one? One of them said as he leaned over his motorbike and looked at me with his disgusting eyes. I was holding in my anger as I put my hand into her fist. I'm not a, I said in a not so innocent voice. He was going to be one of my next victims. Jungkook suddenly held my hand and pulled me in his grip. I see, a personal. Can I get one too? They started laughing. It wasn't even funny. I started to get the creeps from these people. It was just me and a bunch of criminals. If they would do something to me, I wouldn't be able to take all of them. I suddenly realized I was clutching onto his shirt this whole time as my body was tensed up. I quickly let go of him and tried to relax my body. How embarrassing. First of all, the fact that I'm even feeling the slightest bit of fear is not me. I'm usually the danger. And second, why am I seeking protection from the criminal who put me in this situation? If anyone is gonna hurt me, it's gonna be him. No, I do not feel fear. I just feel discomfort. I mean, I have nothing on me. No plan, no preparation, no control, no nothing if anyone tries to hurt me. I only have my insanity that could save me if it's triggered enough. His hand grabbed me and dragged me with him. I stopped and pulled my hand out of his grip. Listen, I'm not a... So stop treating me like you're damn. I've had enough of it.
I let out just 1% of the anger he gave me. I tried to hold it all in and take it out the moment I'd end him, but he made it so hard. He suddenly grabbed my face and pulled me in hard. The rain started to fall harder as his hands were still tightly grabbing onto my face. I could see his eyes more clearly now. I could finally read them now. There was something tragic in those eyes. Maybe loneliness or pain or both. His words were always harsh, but his eyes were soft at times, maybe a little psychotic, but not too much. Despair, sorrow, those were eyes that went through a lot. I like to read victims before ending them. He was waiting for my response. I saw an unbearable pain in his eyes. I know how it feels to let pain control your life. He stared into my eyes in silence, rain pouring down on us. I wasn't sure why he was still holding my face so close to his. I was a little uncomfortable, but I let him. For some reason, I bared with everything he did. His eyes weren't convincing enough. I gave him one of my creepy smiles, the one I give my victims seconds before they try me, cook. His expression remained the same. I had never seen anyone look at me with such intensity. It made me feel seen in a way. Not sure how I felt about that. I wanted to kiss him. I wanted to hurt him. And then I suddenly pursed my lips on his. I kissed him. I found beauty in pain, in those eyes, in him. The rain intensified as I kissed him hard. I felt his wet lips against mine. I inhaled his scent. I couldn't wait to take all of him. I couldn't wait to destroy him. I couldn't wait to take his last breath from him. He was so beautiful, and he would be even more beautiful lifeless. He pulled away from the kiss and looked at me. Again, silence, but there was a longing, tragic stare. He let go of my face, and then we continued to walk again, in silence.
What was this strange place? I followed him into a street food area, which looked ghetto and cozy at the same time. It was pretty cool. Welcome, John. Nice to see you again, the man behind the bar said as he bowed to him. They sure do have respect for him, or its obligation. He put up a hand to him and sat down. I awkwardly stood still and just stared around me. I never got to get so deep into the criminal area, but I always wanted to explore this place. I was stunned, excited. He said as he gazed at me. My smile and excitement immediately disappeared as I heard his voice. Then I remembered I just kissed him. Yikes. He ordered me, but I didn't because I didn't like to be ordered around. He suddenly grabbed my wrist and pulled me in, making me sit next to him. He shoved a plate with food in front of me. I pulled my wrist out of his grip. No thanks, I don't feel like eating, I said in annoyance. I sounded like a child. I couldn't look at him after I just kissed him like that. I got carried away by whatever it was I saw in his eyes, but now I realized how embarrassing that was, kissing my so-called captor. It did make me curious about him. This is the most interest I had in a human in a long time. I slowly turned my face towards him and looked at him. Why are you doing this? Why didn't you just end me instead? He chuckled and looked back in my eyes. I smiled because we had the same intentions with each other, but who will end who first? Of course, I will win. I'll make sure of it. So, in the end, you'll still end me? I'll have a end no matter what? I asked as I stared deep into his eyes. It was that intensive gaze again. His eyes were lying, maybe. What if I end you first? Those eyes did something to me again, a strange feeling in my stomach. Was it really hatred? Do you consider yourself evil? He took a sip from his beer bottle and then looked at me again. I frowned. That's not... Never mind. Do you people for no reason? I wondered. He couldn't be worse than me, could he? He didn't answer and continued to drink his beer. His silence was an answer. I was right. He wasn't worse than me. I grabbed the beer bottle from his hand and took a big sip. You're right, Cooksy. You're a lot more than evil. You're hurt. You're lonely. You need me as your company, just to feel a little less lonely. That's why you didn't end me yet. Right, Cook? He stared at me and didn't say a word. I knew I was right. His eyes told me I was right. What is that pain inside of you? He was still silent as he stared at me, but his eyes were turning dark. He suddenly smashed his bottle against the bar and held a sharp broken glass against my throat. His eyes showed madness. He screamed into my face as the sharp glass was into my skin. I grabbed the glass with my bare hand and let it inside my hand as I looked into his furious and painful eyes. I felt his pain inside my skin as it was deep. I had triggered him deeply. It wasn't even intended, and now this is hurting me like hell. A group of gang members surrounded us. Cook, what's wrong? Is this bothering you, huh? Oh no, this is bad. Jungkook grabbed my wrist and pulled me into his grip. He said to the gang, holding my wrist tightly. No, you can't do this, Cook, I shouted as I totally panicked. Give her here, I'll pay with all my money for this one of them said and handed a stack of cash to Jungkook. We'll have fun with this one, thanks, Cook. He tossed me to the group of creepy men. No, don't touch me, I screamed as one of them grabbed me. I looked at Jungkook in despair as my only hope. Don't do this, please. He gave me one last glance and then he turned around and left. He left me. He freaking left me. What now? How will I beat a whole group of men? I don't even have my on me anymore. They had me in their grip and dragged me along. They pushed me down the street and surrounded me as they were laughing and having the time of their life. It infuriated me. I will all of them, and when I'm done I will make Jungkook suffer the most painful ever. One of them grabbed my jacket and tried to pull it off me. It was Jungkook's jacket, which he gave me. They can have it. Damn, those are some hot, he said, as they pulled the jacket off me. I had nothing underneath. Get away from me, I will end all of you, I screamed and pinched one of them hard on the face. My rings were sharp enough and made his face. That was a damn good punch. I started to laugh in his face. That made it so beautiful. It excited me. What did you do? He screamed in anger, and the others started to get as well. I might have made it worse, but it's worth it. The others started to attack me, and I pulled out the sharp object that I took with me. When Jungkook smashed his bottle, I swung it around, trying to hit any of them. When I felt their hands on me, I felt a rush of adrenaline overflow my body, and I screamed, and a sharp object deep inside their bodies, I let my insanity go loose, taking control of my entire body. But I knew it wasn't enough. I knew they outnumbered me easily and overpowered me. I was powerless and exposed. I hated this feeling. A few of them fell down to there, but the others were overpowering me. Two of them managed to grab me in their grip. I moved my body in rage, trying to come loose. I had to end them too. And then I felt something sharp in my body. It made my body weak and lose my strength. I could no longer fight back. I was losing so much. Damn it, I can't like this. You're insane. You ended my friends. I will kill you till nothing is left of you. He screamed into my face as the other one was holding me still. I gave him a beautiful, creepy smile. You poor thing. And then I laughed. It was a desperate laugh. I knew I was. You left me here too. I guess this is my karma. I slowly closed my eyes. For the first time, I cared. I cared that you did this to me, Jungkook. You hurt me. Cook, I hate you. I heard his voice, followed by a few gunshots. Jungkook's face appeared in front of me. I saw their bodies in front of me. He saved me. I looked at his face for a moment, and then I collapsed as my body gave up. I had everywhere. He caught me and held my bare body. He pulled off his jacket and threw it around me again. What took you so long? I whimpered in pain. It was hard to talk. His hand gently touched my face as he stared at my miserable face, which was covered in. I could see regret and sorrow in his eyes. He didn't like to see me like this. He did this to me, he said in a broken voice and lifted me up in his arms. He made my head rest against his chest and started walking with me in his arms. I don't know why, but I started to shed tears. I never cry, I never care, but I cared now. I felt angry at him, I felt happy, I felt hurt, saved. I had so many conflicted feelings as I felt warm and safe inside his arms. What was he doing